Prime Day is coming up. So to continue in our series of Prime Day readiness episodes, we've invited seasoned Amazon sellers who sold millions of dollars on the platform to give some of their best and worst stories from previous Prime Days, along with what they're planning to do this Prime Day. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Sellers have lost thousands of dollars by not knowing that they were hijacked perhaps on their Amazon listing, or maybe somebody changed their main image, or Amazon changed their shipping dimensions so they had to pay extra money every order. Helium 10 can actually send you a text message or email if any of these things or other critical events happen to your Amazon account. For more information, go to h10.me/alerts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. Prime Day was just announced, although, of course, Helium 10 Serious Sellers Podcast listeners have been knowing when Prime Day was going to be since April, since we predicted it, but we weren't sure. But now everybody's sure. July 16 and 17 is the day. All right, so if you're a brand new seller, by definition, this is going to be your first Prime Day. And so what I wanted to do is not just have me here give you guys a step-by-step tutorial. I wanted to bring different sellers on to ask them what their experience is, whether it's their own accounts or maybe they have a lot of clients who they've helped with their Prime Days. And it's funny because the answer is not always, oh, you've got to go all in. The answer from some of these sellers, I'm not sure what they're going to say. Some of the sellers might say, you know what? I don't do extensive discounts on Prime Day. And that's fine too. We want to make sure that though we give you guys a complete view of what people are doing and not doing on Prime Day, but just know that, hey, there's not just one size fits all, where there's one strategy and everybody's got to do it or else you're a failure on Prime Day. I think that's going to be hopefully the theme that you learn today, that there's different strokes for different folks and it's okay. So the first seller I'm going to bring on the show with us today, he's been on the podcast before, is Abdul. Abdul, how's it going?
Hey, Bradley. Good. And yourself?
Pretty good. Now you and I have hung out all over the world. You used to come to our elite workshops and we had it in California. I know at that time you were living in New Jersey. We've also hung out in Lahore, Pakistan. Is that where you're at right now? Are you in Pakistan?
Yes, I am. And indeed.
So what time is it over there?
So we're like 12 hours ahead of you. It's like 11 p.m.
11 p.m. also. Thank you for coming on so late. Now, for people who maybe haven't heard your Serious Sellers Podcast episodes, how long have you been selling on Amazon?
So we're going up to 8-9 years, but the first few years were not so good. I did everything wrong. And just after that, it's just been fixing things, and it's been a roller coaster.
All right. Now, 8-9 years, you've been there for the Prime Days. And so tell us, let me just start off. This is going to be a similar question as what I'm going to ask others. What was the best thing you've ever done on a Prime Day? Like maybe it could have even been on an accident, but what's the best Prime Day result you had where maybe sales were up 50%, sales were up 4x, whatever the case? What can you remember was your best Prime Day?
I think 2x, 3x last year was good.
Was that coming from a certain strategy? Like, did you run Prime exclusive discounts, a lightning deal, or was it just 100% organic extra traffic?
So that's something we did not do last year. Last year, we did not do exclusive discounts, flash sales, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, those are usually 200, 300 per ASIN. They can get very pricey quickly, right?
Sure.
So we did not do that last year. We signed up for whatever free we could find. And we ran coupon codes, discounts. We fixed up pricing beforehand to make sure that our prices were just right, leading a month, 2 months before the Prime Days.
Okay. So what was your strategy right before Prime Day? Did you have anything different that you did leading up to Prime Day?
No, PPC ran as usual. We just kept an eye if anything was running out of budget. We would put more juice into those PPC campaigns. Otherwise, we were just concentrating on coupon codes, on off-Amazon advertisements. We have a large following now, so we send out messages on our social media, on our email distributions. So bringing a lot of off-Amazon traffic. to our store.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely good. And so, what are you doing in that regards for this year? Like, what's your plans leading up to this year's Prime Day? What kind of promotions are you doing for your off Amazon traffic? Are you like telling them, hey, we're going to have a Prime Day discount or something like that?
So yeah, now that it's announced, because people, my customers that don't like vague, it's going to happen in June, July. So as soon as it's announced, you start preparing for your broadcast. So roughly a week before. Anything you do a week before the dates, it's just prepping. People don't take that seriously. So say about 7 to 10 days, you hit them with the first message, and you have a series of follow-ups. A lot of ManyChat. If you have subscribers in ManyChat, a lot of emails, my social media, if I have Facebook following or Instagram following, you just start hitting them with what your deal is, what your products are, where to find them, and to remind them, don't go to my website, have the Amazon logo prominent. So usually I don't like to drive people to Amazon store, my Amazon products. I like them to go from social media to my own website, but this will be an exception.
Now, what are you telling them? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing Prime exclusive discount? Are you just going to have a clippable coupon? Are you just running a discount, just a regular discount price off? Or what is your plans for this July 16, 17?
I think it's going to be a visible coupon code this year. Clippable discounts or clippable coupons, people tend to forget. So if something is right in front of them for everyone to see, as soon as someone lands on my page, on my product, I want them to see the discount, and I want them to be able to just apply the coupon, and you don't want to put any hurdles in front of them.
What's your projected sales this year, just so people have an idea about your level? What do you think you're going to hit for overall, not for Prime Day, but for your year? We're about halfway through the year. What do you think you're going to end up at?
This year has been a challenge. I have a lot of hijackers. Just before Prime Day, I would touch that we do see a lot of activity where they're using that infamous there's a new badge, often return badge. I'm being hit with that with my bestsellers, and every year we see that. So that's been a struggle. We have to keep an eye on that, and honestly, I struggle with that every year.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. It's always a surprise. It's hard to put a number on what this year is going to be like.
Yeah, but what was your best year? Was it during COVID?
During COVID, yeah, we were hitting 60,000 sales, 60K a month. So that was our best time. But after that, I had some family issues, still dealing with sick parents. So I haven't been able to give it much time and attention like I used to.
Well, that's the beauty about Amazon. You can be at home in New Jersey pushing it. You can go home to Pakistan to take care of family and still be running your business. That's the beauty about our industry. Well, Abdul, I wish you the best of success in your for this year's Prime Day. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, and we'll definitely connect after to see how it was. All right.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Next up, we've got Abe coming on. You're kind of a contrast with, Abdul's just working with his own account, but you see many people's accounts because you work with a lot of sellers. And so you've got some unique viewpoints as far as selling on Prime Day and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So a similar question, like amongst, different accounts you've worked on previous Prime Day, is there something that sticks out as like the best Prime Day for somebody? Like what's a cool anecdote you could provide us?
Yeah, so this anecdote is one which really stuck out by itself. It's one which is going to apply to very few sellers, but it was an eye popper. So I work with a brand that has national distribution. So it's a recognized brand, and I work with them to sell a line of electronics like in the $200 plus price range. Now, we were having trouble getting traction because in the electronics category, there are lots of foreign competitors that sell the same thing for 40% less. So the brand said, we really want to make a push. We really want to see if it's possible to make Amazon pop. They were able to get a SaaS core rep. They were able to work with the SaaS core rep and say, we want a premium deal position on Prime Day, something that's not in the dashboard. Because there are spots that you can get that are not in the dashboard when you have a SaaS core rep. They vet you, and they have to make sure that they think you can sell that amount. And that's part of the key, because they say this spot can sell $4 million for us. If you can't sell and you can't fulfill $4 million, we don't even want to talk to you. That's worth what the spot is. So they were vetted, they were checked. They couldn't even send enough inventory because Amazon could not process it. They had to share the information from their warehouses with Amazon, and they accepted the information.
Wow.
Well, that day, Prime Day, every single thing was turned all the way on. We launched 30 campaigns of every ad type, 4 different autos at different price points, high-priced ranking campaigns, like every single type you've ever heard an experiment about, all launched on the same day. And in 24 hours, they went from selling $15,000 a day on the hero SKU. They sold $1 million in one day of that SKU, which is something like
from $15,000 to $1 million on that SKU. Million. So that means that there had to be a good number that was fulfilled by merchant too, because no way they had all of that inventory in Amazon, right?
Yeah, 3/4 of it was fulfilled by merchant.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So it wasn't. It can't be reproduced. Like a lot of people suggest like very impressive things, like it could be done if you flip the right switch. No, this is not. I would be surprised if I ever am part of a thing like this again. But
okay,
I had the front row seat for it.
I love that. Now let's talk about the complete opposite. What was a disaster for somebody? Like somebody just did nothing, or maybe somebody screwed up on their discounts where they didn't realize they could stack, or what's the worst Prime Day you've ever heard of that happened to somebody?
The worst Prime Day, it's a thing that keeps happening, but it's just as bad every single time it happens. You have somebody who is not working with somebody else within the same company. They launch a coupon a week before. The new low price of 30 days is below the price of the submitted deal. Boom, your deal does not run. And every time it happens, there's a meltdown because people count on Prime Day, and all of a sudden it didn't work. They can't understand why. They tell me, Abe, why aren't we selling? Where's the volume? Why aren't we even showing for the deal? I said, did anybody in your place run any kind of discount or coupon in the last couple of weeks? Because we don't get a notification about everything they do in their account. And all of a sudden you'll hear the yelling that Bob ran a coupon 2 weeks ago. What were you doing, Bob? You ruined everything.
Wow. Okay. So now things have changed since the last Prime Day. There's new rules as far as like discounts and coupons and plus there's new ways to, I don't know if brand tailored promotions has been around for a full year yet, but I'm not sure if that was around last year.
They keep changing it. So
even it itself is not what it was 2 months ago, So,
right.
So with that, all that in mind, we're now talking about 2024 Prime Day. What are some general things that you're trying this year with some of these new changes in mind?
So the number one thing we're going to be trying is, like you mentioned, the brand tailored promotions. There's something like 10 different types of promotions in there. And what we're doing with every brand we work with, we're actually setting aside an hour for time to work with them instead of our usual, shorter amount of time. We say, listen, we need to spend an hour to look at each one, read the terms of what each one applies to, and think about if this applies to our brand. And if it does, let's lean into it. And with Prime Day, a number of those discounts are for people who looked at your product but didn't buy, for people who put it in your cart but didn't buy. Yes. And we want to know, what we want to do is all of the ad spend that we spent leading up to Prime Day, all of the money that we spent on Prime Day that didn't turn into sales, we want to do anything we can to capture it in the days and 10 days or 2 weeks afterwards.
Prime Day already has a lot of better conversion rate than normal days because people are coming on Amazon with more intent to buy. But if you are targeting people who already had even intent to buy before because they added to the cart but they abandoned it, that's one of the brand cart cart abandoners is one of the brand tailored promotions. That's like should do even better for you if like they're already coming on Amazon and they're already somebody who almost pulled the trigger on buying your product before. So I think that's a great strategy to target them.
Yeah. I mean, these brand tailored promotions have, in some cases, they've been fantastic. They do what DSP promised to do, which is to chase people around after they originally looked at you. These promotions are doing it more effectively than DSP in a lot of cases because it's really direct.
Yes.
And a big thing, which is key, is that they gave us the ability to run these promos at an ASIN level, which was originally was just for the brand overall. And at that point, it was really, really clumsy in terms of running deals plus stacking something that goes across your whole brand.
Are you doing anything differently in Helium 10 as far as for Prime Day, like doing some historical research or looking at search volumes, or is just kind of like same, keyword tracker, paying special attention, or is kind of like business as usual for you?
So I'll tell you, one of the features we love best, and I'm not sure which level of Helium 10 you need for it, is the historical rank tracker for keywords in Cerebro. we love to compare time periods. And with the accounts that are connected long enough, we can see how Prime Day did last year. And we can compare Prime Day to peak period to different peak periods. And we use those to set budgets. The number one thing we do when managing Prime Day, we don't do much with bids. We don't have a special bidding program for Prime Day. The number one thing is being visible to shoppers as long as possible during the day, which is budget management. And the budget management goes also along with inventory management. You have to have enough product to sell, and then you have to show enough to sell all the product you have. That's where all the planning comes in. And that's where all the holes fall apart usually. Either people didn't plan enough inventory, either people didn't assess the impact of their discounts against their regular margins, and then nothing is left over to spend on an actual ad. There's all the different parts that work together. But going back to Helium 10, it gives us an idea of how much of a boost we need in order to get full coverage those days.
Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your insights, and definitely want to keep us updated in the Elite Facebook group to let us know how some of these things worked out for you.
Be happy to.
I'm going to invite 3 people on at the same time. We're just going to have kind of like a mini roundtable for the next few minutes. And let's go ahead and invite the next group. We've got Gonzalo, we've got Rolando, and we've got Carrie. So we've got 3 experienced Amazon sellers of different levels, but all have multiple Prime Days under their belt. So we're going to start with our 2 guests. Gonzalo, you've been on the Spanish podcast. I've never had you on the English podcast before, though, right, Gonzalo?
Right. That's
okay,
right,
so give us some of your background, like where are you based, and tell us how long you've been selling on Amazon.
I'm based in Chile, in South America, in Santiago, and I have been a seller from 2019 before COVID.
Okay, so you've got about depending on if you're counting the Prime Deal days or the other one that comes up, you got at least 3-4 Prime Days under your belt. Now let's just stick with you for a second here. What was your best Prime Day results, like where it was really a big increase over sales? And then if you can remember, what contributed to that?
I have one that I X by 3 in 1 year that was pretty amazing.
Was it by accident, or did you do something different that year that really worked?
Actually, it was the one that I set as basis for the next year, and I replied the same strategy from then. And what I make is, on my top seller product, I actually decrease the bids and increase the budget. So I'm just waiting for the sales, basically. But just on the top seller. On the rest of the product, especially on the ones that I need to move, I do the opposite thing. I create 1 week before, I create a retargeting campaign, because it's shown that you need to be seen 7 times before someone bought your product. So I try to show to the same person 7 times before Prime to push them to buy the product on Prime.
You got some buyer psychology going there. I like it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So for me, Prime start 1 week before.
What was your most unsuccessful Prime Day, where sales just stayed the same or even went down, or you made a mistake and something didn't happen? Do you remember any? Do you have any bad stories for us from Prime Day?
The only one is, I think it was the first one that I didn't realize that I got out of budget on my campaigns. I was selling great. I get out of target, and obviously my sale drops, and I didn't realize until the next day.
All right. We'll come back to you. So stay here. Next up, Rolando. Rolando was just on the podcast a few weeks ago, and same question for you. We've been asking your best Prime Day, and if you can remember, what was the reason for that success?
We're one of those birds where Prime Day doesn't mean anything for us, really. It hasn't moved the needle.
Tell me.
Last year, I would say it was probably our best, and that's because we turned off the PPC. And what we found the year before that, so that'd be 2 years ago, was, we were like, oh, let's do something for Prime Day and we'll crank up the juice with ads. Yeah. We saw a lot of clicks, but we didn't move the needle any further than the previous year. It didn't move the needle further than our average daily sales. So last year we said no PPC, and we didn't even see a huge drop in terms of our regular run rates or anything like that. It was right around the same, like in just another day.
Yep.
So for us, that's a victory in that we didn't waste thousands of dollars for people that are browsing, and we just kept selling. So that was, I would say, a win for us to really see the difference. 1 year go cranking out on PPC, 1 year not cranking out on PPC. And so we learned a lot by doing that.
And that's important for everybody here. You know, like don't think that, hey, I have to do something bold and outrageous on Prime Day or else I'm a failure. You know, like Rolando's company has sold tens of millions of dollars on Amazon. And you just heard from him, you know, they've tried both. And that when you're selling on Amazon for a while, you can try something 1 year and try something else. I myself haven't done, I don't do too much on Prime Day outside of just like, you know, managing my budgets and you know, trying to leading up to Prime Day, you know, making sure I'm ranked organically where I want to. But that's super important to know that if you're don't do anything special, that doesn't mean, you know, you're a complete failure.
You know what you could do that doesn't cost any money, and something that we are going to be doing this year. We did this 3 years ago, and also is that around Prime Day we start going live. It's great because Amazon does have a lot of stuff going on their social media accounts, saying come to our website, you know, check out the live. So being live.
Are you talking about Amazon Live?
Amazon Live. So we'll go live those days. It'll run on our Amazon store. It'll actually replay later on the Amazon store. So we have content, we have our faces on there. We show the product, how to use it. We talk about different things. So exposure wise, it gets people to see, oh, these are the people behind the curtain that are part of this company. So from that standpoint, we look at live as a great day to get new eyeballs without having to spend a ton of money.
Going back to Gonzalo, how does Helium 10 play a role in what your strategies are? Like what aspects are you using, you know, Helium 10? Obviously you're not using Helium 10 to create coupons and things like that or register for deals because we don't have that. But on the research side, what are you doing, or on the advertising side?
First of all, Helium 10 is crucial because I control all my pay-per-clicks on Atomic. It's crucial for me, Helium 10. And then I have two tools that I love. The first one is Market Tracker, that I regularly is going to check how the sales are going and who are my competitors. And the second one is Keyword Tracker. Obviously, I'm watching always what is my ranking, how do I doing, and how it is impact the pay-per-click that I'm doing.
On Keyword Tracker, are you like putting boost on and then really checking like your sponsored and organic, like on Prime Day, making sure you're not losing your sponsored rank, and then if you do, you increase your bid? Or is that how you're using Keyword Tracker?
Yeah, that way. And I also, when I open a new campaign on a new keyword, I'm start tracking with the rocket to see if I'm doing some impact or not on that keyword.
All right, good. Rolando, what are you doing? I mean, Prime Day or not Prime Day, what are your go-to Helium 10 tools?
I love the dashboard. I love the below the insights where it tells you all, you know, your competitor and all that. Below that is a row that's super customizable where you can look at things by product performance or by advertising. And it is, for me, the thing, because we're really big in the last 18 months is focusing on profitability. And we can go line by line, item by item. It's got everything in. So you know your net profit per product. And you can pick out the losers, cut them, or be like, we got to liquidate them. Or, hey, we've got more margin on these group here. Let's add some more PPC and see what happens. And now you can work more intelligently than in the past, where maybe the PPC data was over there and the sales data was over here. This combines both of that. So you know immediately these are the losers. We got to do something on them right now.
Love it. Speaking of the dashboard, something I think a lot of people sleep on, at least those with a diamond plan, is add competitors to that dashboard, because it's not just about your product. And then set up we call them insights, that you can consider them alerts, but then it's especially good like for Prime Day or around Prime Day, somebody goes out of stock, somebody's changed their title, one of the competitors, somebody adds a coupon, starts a coupon, somebody stops a coupon. You know, there's little things that you can set alerts that if you don't have Helium 10, fine, you still got to be looking for these things, but you just got to manually go to all these pages, start, you know, have somebody refresh the screen. But if you've got the diamond plan and you guys are using that dashboard that Rolando was talking about, add your competitors and monitor their listings. You can't see their exact sales. Obviously, Helium 10's not hacking people's accounts, but you'll see estimated sales and things, but you'll know when they change their image or when they change a coupon or have a sale price. So that's something important to look at. Last question. We'll just stick with Rolando, then we'll go back to Gonzalo. This year, Prime Day, same thing as last year. You're not going to do anything special, or are you going to do the lives, or are you going to do any discounting or any off Amazon promotion? What's your strategy this year?
So this year, we're definitely going to do live. Then we're going to add something we've never done before. We've never done Prime exclusive deals, never. I hate giving money away if I have to, but in the spirit of experimentation to see if Prime exclusives works for us, we've got probably a dozen products that we will be doing some form. One of the things that and literally this morning was one of our meetings, we've found an opportunity where a multi-pack unit where we could sell 50 as well as 100, nobody in our categories got anything like that. And we know from what our Amazon folks are telling us when we talk to them, they're telling us don't sleep on multi-packs. They keep telling us that. They said that demand for multi-packs is going up and up and up and up and up. So a while back ago, we tried just that. Not on a Prime Day. We added some more multi-packs. Guess what? I'm kicking myself because we weren't doing it 5 years ago. So we're going to try some exclusives tied with some additional multi-packs to see how that works with buyers that are looking for things in volume.
All right. Same question for you, Gonzalo. What's the plan? ¿Cuál es el plan de ataque este año?
Dinos.
It's the same one that I just mentioned. I just talked. Is for my main product, I'm gonna love it and stay calm on it. And the one that I need to push a little bit, today I set the campaign with retargeting and increased bidding 1 week previous.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate sharing your knowledge with us today. All right, Carrie, how many Prime Days under your belt?
I've been selling since 2016, so I guess 8.
Do you have, I know you've got a lot of horror stories just in general of crazy things, and I'm going to save some of those for future podcasts with you.
Yeah.
But do you have, let's start on the opposite side. Do you have any horror stories that specifically are related to Prime Day?
No.
Or at least just, maybe a Prime Day that just didn't work out for you?
No, what's really cool about our sales is over the years, they've just incrementally increased. And so every Prime Day has been better than the last. And so it's not been like, one day we did 200,000 in sales or something, but it's like, we definitely did a substantial amount more than the year before and the year before and the year. And so year over year, we're increasing.
That's good. So you never had one where you accidentally did too big of a discount, or you thought you were qualified for a deal and you ended up not doing it. It's been pretty much as planned.
Yeah, for Prime Day. I mean, I have accidentally done a really big discount on a coupon where it was like something that was supposed to be $15 was like $1.99. And I was like, wow, it's selling really well. And so off of Prime Day, I've done that, but no, not for Prime Day.
And then do you remember what year was your best Prime Day? Do you have one
year.
That sticks out?
Last year was our biggest. Yeah, because every year it's gotten bigger. It was about 16,000. I remember our first one, it was like we were selling about $400 a day. And I remember it went up to like $1,000 that day. And we were like, oh my gosh. And so now we've gone, quite a bit more for that day. So
you did $16,000 on one day?
Yeah, on Prime Day last year.
And what would you attribute that to? Like, did you do something different, or a special campaign just really worked out, or what happened?
We do coupons. And so not only in the days leading up to Prime Day, but also after, we still get a good amount of sales, well over our normal average. And so I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, we offer coupons and like the discounts, not Prime Day exclusive discounts or anything like that. We just do our normal discounts. And that's how we do it. And it works out really well. And you always have to make sure your listing is optimized and that you've got good product reviews. And so, if your listing isn't optimized, you're going to want to turn off the ads on those particular products, or if you have kind of bad reviews. But your heroes, if you do some discounts on there and you have it fully optimized, it's definitely worth it.
Now, speaking of Helium 10, we're going to have Carrie share her screen now. And I want you to actually show step by step a couple strategies that you think are important for sellers to do leading up to Prime Days.
So this is one of my favorite tools. I think Abe was mentioning this because I know he really likes this tool too. You can use this in a lot of different ways, but basically you're going to do, what I do is I just do a single ASIN search on a main competitor. And in this situation, because I'm looking at Prime Day and I wanted to give you an example of, a way to find some good Prime Day keywords. There's this vacuum mop that I have actually purchased. And I know a lot of people have purchased this particular mop for Prime Day because it's usually a pretty good deal. And so I wanted to just show you how you can find kind of Prime Day specific keywords. So I took this ASIN and did a reverse ASIN search here. And what I love about this Cerebro tool is the show historical trend tool. Now, when you go to show historical trend, it's going to give you 24 months of data. So you can go all the way back 24 months and you can see where an ASIN was ranked organically and for their sponsored. You can also see the search volume history. And so it's really, really helpful. So you can go back to the last Prime Day and the Prime Day before. It's just kind of just right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this July 2023 because that was when our Prime Day was last year. And then I'm going to go down and click apply filters because I want to just look at this month specifically because I'm looking for Prime Day specific keywords. Okay. So when I'm in this historical trend, if I go down here, you're going to see basically all of the keywords that this particular product was ranking for organically and sponsored. You can see their actual rank here. But I want to look for, you can filter this down. And I usually like to look at phrases containing. So one of the phrases I like to look at is prime. And if I hit apply filters, then if I go down here, I can see all of the kind of Prime Day keywords. Now, this particular product, they're one of the top sellers I know on Prime Day, but their organic rank on these major keywords is, 230. They're in the 200s. They're way behind. So, and they're not even really, they hadn't even advertised on these keywords, probably because they didn't really know they existed. So now if you can go back, you can find the historical keywords. You can create campaigns with these specific keywords in them, and you can start targeting those. I mean, they only look targeted this one. It was a Prime Day vacuums, 1100 search volume, totally missing out on 8,500 in search volume. You can also see here, this is actually our up-to-date information. It's showing the trending of these keywords going up, up, up. Now, a lot of times you'll see these keywords and it's like, a month before it's going to be like, oh, there's, 200 searches or whatever. So this gives you the information of how much they're increasing. And so you can even start these campaigns, a month early, 2 months early to just start getting yourself, ranked on those keywords. And you can also leave these campaigns going all year round, kind of as an evergreen campaign to just, make sure that you're at the top of those searches. And so that is one, really great way to use this particular tool for Prime Day. I absolutely love this and gives you so much great information. Now, sometimes people are looking for Christmas gifts because they start, shopping for their family now. And that way they have all their Christmas gifts, a bunch of Christmas gifts for their family in December. You can, search phrases containing gifts or anything that really pertains to your particular product during Prime Day. You can start searching for those terms. You can look at, some of your biggest competitors, like the biggest competitor, and you can see what kind of keywords they're ranking for, but maybe not really capitalizing on. And so this is just a really, I think, amazing tool to get historical data and utilize it for this particular Prime Day.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. You can use this, what she was talking about, for almost any period of the year, but obviously we're talking about Prime Day now. So that's why it's especially beneficial for you guys to use that leading up into Prime Days.
We have a Prime Day checklist that we put together that has amazing information we have Destiny Wishon from Better Media. She gave some PPC tips. We have Emma from Marketing by Emma, and she gave a lot of really incredible tips for optimizing your listing. These things it's not too late to do them. So there's a lot of stuff on this list that you could really implement now, even if you feel like you're kind of like behind in the game. These are tips also you can use year round because it's really good optimization. So make sure you download that, check it out, do as much as you can before Prime Day, and it's going to help your conversion. Even if you're just doing a small discount, it will help your conversion. So
h10.me/prime list, h10.me/prime list. And then we will go ahead and invite Wee up. Wee, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Bradley?
Pretty good. Now, what about you, Wee? How many Prime Days do you think you've experienced in your lifetime, your Amazon lifetime?
Since the beginning, so kind of lost count. I don't know, probably plus 5 years. What year did it actually start, Bradley?
I don't even remember. It was before.
Exactly.
And then plus there's 2 Prime Days a year, but let's just say you have a lot of Prime Days under your belt. Now, something that I've been asking the different guests is, what was the best Prime Day you had where just like sales were way more than normal and way more than other Prime Days? Do you remember what year that was or what the numbers were kind of?
I don't remember the year, but it was definitely before COVID. Okay. One of the things that it might have been the second year that Prime Day had been announced, right? And this was prior to them doing it only kind of like once a year, right? Because then they switched off to doing it twice a year. Probably the biggest opportunity, the biggest win that we had, it wasn't intentional. It was actually when we got mentioned on, they used to do a live stream during Prime Day, right? Amazon did a live stream. They actually mentioned one of our products, and we've never sold more products in one day than on that day. So our product got mentioned in the live stream. We started seeing sales climb up. All the units that we had allocated to that promotion, were sold out pretty quick. But fortunately, we were watching it and we were able to go in and adjust the quantities that we wanted to put in that promotion. So that's probably one of the things is like, you definitely want to be making sure that you're looking at how many units you have available in that promotion. And if you have the opportunity to adjust it just based on the demand, that was a huge win for us. I think on the other end, though, Bradley,
disaster. Any disasters or crazy things that happen?
Not necessarily the disasters, but just to kind of put a point to that other one, where it's like if you put too many quantity in there, it's kind of like a psychological game as well, right? So when there's a lot of deals that are going on, customers are looking, and then they've got that progress bar where it says, "Hey, how many percentage or how many people have claimed this deal?" Right? So if you put in too many units, kind of up in the beginning, and then you're kind of stuck between that, below 10% claim number. People are not as excited to go out and claim those deals, right? So I think that finding that balance of, having it over 50% claimed, people looking at it, and then having that FOMO where they're going to go out and jump on it. So I think in terms of disasters, I'm going to be 100% honest. We haven't been doing a lot of prime day actual deals, lightning deals, and the reason why is the past couple times it has not been effective. It's and it costs, what does it cost? Like $1,000 to run a deal, even if you have it on the day. What we used to do is we used to put all of our items available and put it into the promotion, and then when they tell us the schedule, then we'd cancel the ones out that weren't actually on Prime Day or kind of within that range, because they were putting some of us like the week before Prime Day or just a couple days after. That was already not effective. But I think that because Amazon switched to allowing everybody to provide that Prime exclusive discount, like not having an actual deal, but just kind of marking it off and then getting that Prime Day exclusive badge. That has actually probably, changed the most for us. We found that to be most effective. There's no cost to do it. And I think that, everybody's kind of got that strategy where there's just too much inventory of Prime Day deals out there that when Amazon expanded it out beyond just those lightning deals, everybody just started looking outside as well.
I'm happy you mentioned that, because I think that people need to understand that, I've said it once, I've said it 5 times today, is that, Prime Day success is not contingent on he who does the most deals or he who spends the most money in PPC, or you have to do Prime exclusive discounts or you have to do lightning deals. No, you can have success on Prime Day in a lot of different ways. For some people, that is what's needed, or for some people, other people, it's doing everything. Like Abe mentioned, that crazy experience of somebody who went from $15,000 to $1 million on one product on Prime Day because they went all in on something that probably is not duplicatable. But again, there's different ways to have success on Prime Day. Again, Gonzalo, Rolando, and then Abe and Abdul, thank you. And Carrie, of course, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye now.